Let me tell you, I never thought I'd live to see the day a 6-year-old girl would save my life at 15,000 feet. But here we are. If you think you've had a rough flight, you've got nothing on what happened up there on Flight 9821. Everything you thought you knew about who should be in control, who's supposed to lead, gets flipped upside down in one split second. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you're not the hero. You're just lucky to be in the room. So picture this. We're somewhere over the Midwest, clouds dark as fresh bruises, rain lashing the wings. Turbulence bad enough to make even the calmest traveler think about calling their mother. I'm the first officer, Ryan Miller, 30 if you count the gray hairs, but only 3 flights deep as a commercial co-pilot. Captain Harris? Seasoned, cool-headed, right up until a bolt of lightning cracked us sideways and he slammed his head into the console. Out cold in one brutal heartbeat. Captain Harris is unconscious. I shouted into the radio, hands slippery on the yoke, adrenaline crashing through me like surf. Thunder boomed. Lights flickered. The stall warning blared. I was white-knuckled, trying every emergency checklist I'd ever crammed into my skull, and realizing none of them covered what to do when the whole plane turns into a haunted house. Cabin chaos. Screaming. Prayers. Luggage falling. Oxygen masks dangling like ghostly swings. At this point, my brain's on overload. Autopilot's dead. Hydraulics are failing. I'm talking to air traffic like a desperate rookie. Try secondary autopilot. Manual override if you can. The tower says. All I can think is, yeah, let me just magic that up while the world burns. We're falling 15,000 feet and dropping fast. Now, back in row 2F, there's this woman, Julia Anderson. Blonde, razor-sharp blue eyes, the kind of presence that says she's handled a boardroom, maybe even a battlefield. Beside her, her daughter Emma, just 6, holding a stuffed airplane, sits quietly, like the only calm in a storm. Julie is locked in, watching the crew flail, calculating escape routes that don't exist at 14,000 feet. Then Emma tugs her sleeve, voice small but steady. Mommy, I think I can help. Julia, already wound tight, tries to hush her, but Emma doesn't flinch. She unbuckles and slips away, nimble, fast, dodging panicked flight attendants and skidding right into the cockpit, where I'm one heart attack away from total meltdown. I spin around, expecting, I don't know, a frantic adult. Or maybe a flight marshal. But there she is, brown curls, gray hoodie, feet bare and steady. I've done this before. I know what to do. I can help. It doesn't even sound like a kid. The way she says it, just pure, grounded confidence. Who are you? I blurt. Emma. 6. I play on my mom's simulator all the time. I know where everything is. For a split second, I think I'm dreaming. Then the plane lurches again, and I have no time to argue with miracles. All right, show me. I say because honestly, what else is left? She climbs up, not nervous, not panicked, just focused. Throttle to 30%. Not more. Stabilizer trim, here, left side. You've got to shift the aileron manually. Her tiny fingers hover over the right switches. I follow her lead. For a second, nothing happens. Then the descent slows. Instruments stabilize. See, she says, shy smile breaking through. I've done this before. At home. I just stare. There's no way. Julia is standing in the doorway half-wrecked, half in awe. We need to radio the tower. Emma says, cool as you please. I grab the headset. Flight 9821. We've regained partial manual control, with the help of a very small, very brilliant passenger. I half expect them to cut me off. Instead, they come back. Say again? Just get us a runway, I say. She'll guide me the rest of the way. Now, here's the thing nobody talks about. How calm can cut through chaos. Emma starts calling out steps. Flaps. Throttle down. Left 2 degrees. The plane listens to her. So do I. Passengers fall silent, masks stop swinging, and in that hush, there's a moment where every single person on board is just watching, waiting. Julia stands near the door, tears in her eyes. Not from fear anymore, but something like awe. Me? I'm following orders from a child, but you know what? It works. I ask Emma how she knows this stuff. Mom made the simulator, she shrugs. I practiced. A lot. And suddenly, that game becomes the difference between falling and flying. The runway finally appears, a thin lifeline in a storm. Full flaps, she says, gear down. Slow and steady. The ground rushes up. I grip the yoke, Emma's voice in my ear, and the wheels hit with a jolt, then a skid. Then, we're rolling. Silence. Then cheers. Applause, relief, disbelief. I look at Emma. We did it. She grins. You did it. Over the intercom, I tell everyone what happened. No hiding, no downplaying. This is First Officer Ryan Miller. And a 6-year-old girl saved this plane. Julia rushes in, scoops Emma into her arms. Tears, hugs, gratitude, the kind you feel in your bones. Outside, cameras flash, reporters swarm. Someone shouts, "That girl, she saved us." But we walk out together. Me, Emma, Julia, a new kind of family forged in fire. And here's your twist. Because life isn't neat. The media goes wild, sure. Miracle child. Hero mom. But then, the backlash. Is it safe for a kid to be in the cockpit? Where were the adults? Julia's world shrinks under scrutiny. Paparazzi at the door. Schoolmates repeating headlines. Emma asks, "Did I do something wrong?" And Julia's heart breaks. "No. Baby, you were brave." One night, anger boiling over, Julia turns on me. "You should have stopped her. She's a child," she says. I take it quietly. "She saved lives," I remind her. "She's 6. Julia sobs, and Emma, overhearing, cries herself to sleep. I do what I can, go public, set the record straight. She didn't land the plane alone. She remembered what no adult could under pressure. That's not neglect, that's courage. And her mother is brilliant. She taught her daughter to believe she could help. The backlash shifts. Support floods in. People start to see the whole picture, not just the viral headline. Life doesn't go back to normal, but it finds a new balance. I visit when I can. Emma becomes a local legend, still a kid, still playing, but with a strength nobody can quite put into words. Julia, she softens, just a little, lets down some of those walls. One evening, after the noise fades and the house is quiet, she looks at me, says, "I wasn't always this cold." I smile. "You're not cold now." She lets me stay. When a new route takes me away for months, it's Emma's drawing. 3 stick figures, one in a pilot's hat, that I tuck into my flight jacket. Julia leaves the porch light on a little longer, just in case. And when I come back, months later, she lets me in, not just the house, but her life. Bit by bit, we become something real. Emma's parent-teacher conference forms list Ryan Miller as guardian, and Julia doesn't correct it. We go to the park, fly paper planes, laugh louder, hope harder. And sometimes, on golden afternoons, when Emma's plane soars and Julia's hand finds mine, I think about what it means to trust, to let go, to believe that sometimes the safest landing isn't on a runway, but in the arms of the people who wait for you at home. So what do you think? Was it bravery, luck, or something bigger that saved us that day? Drop your thoughts below. Was Julia right to let her daughter help, or did she risk too much? Where do we draw the line between caution and courage? If you believe in second chances and miracles born of love, don't forget to share, subscribe, and tell us. What's your take on what real heroism looks like? See you next time, and remember, sometimes the person you least expect will be the one to bring you home.